Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's good, y'all? What's going on? Fierce Fitness Forum. Happy Monday. Coming at y'all live and uncut. My name is Akil Sherman. This is obviously my Facebook group. I have been a certified personal trainer for 23 years. I am not the trainer who grew up in shape, small waist, flat stomach. That is not my history. Okay? So, today will be, I am sure, a very hot topic for a lot of ladies out there, because it happens fairly regularly, quite frankly. And I know it can be very frustrating, and a lot of times it is the reason, unfortunately, that many women quit and give up and get frustrated. So what am I talking about? I am referring to what happens when you've been working out, doing weight resistance training for say 4 to 6 weeks consistently, and you hop on the scale and there's no change. Like the scale hasn't moved. You haven't lost anything, but you haven't gained anything. You haven't gained anything, but you haven't lost anything either. Or more frustrating for a lot of you is that the scale has actually went up. And so you like, what is happening? What is going on? And so let me just say that it's actually normal and everything will be okay. Okay, so let's get into it. Why is it that we've been working out for 4 to 6 weeks, you've been hitting the gym, getting after it, and you're not seeing that number change? Well, first of all, I want to focus on the fact, because I'm sure even though the scale hasn't changed, I'm sure the inches have. I'm sure your clothes are fitting better. I'm sure, you feel better. You probably feel tighter. You look a little different. Your face is smaller. Your hands are smaller. And so there are changes. But even still, some of you all are so focused and fixated on that scale, which I do not encourage or agree with, but I do understand. And so let's talk about why that occurs. Number one, we want to talk about glycogen. Glycogen, what the hell is glycogen? Glycogen is basically sugar. It's basically sugar or carbs. Carbs is a little messy. Let's just keep it with sugar. Carbs is kind of overcomplicating the situation. Glycogen is sugar, okay? And so glycogen is important because it allows the muscles to contract. Glycogen that is not going to be sufficient. Erase better. Glycogen allows the muscles to contract. Why is that important? Because during weight resistance training, all you're doing is squeezing the muscle. So weight resistance being actual dumbbells, actual dumbbells, or the barbell, the long buddy, or even your body weight. Those all fall within the range of weight resistance training. So if you are new to weight resistance training, understand that is how that occurs. So in order to squeeze the muscles, you want to have glycogen in them to elicit that contraction. And so what's going on in that first 4 to 6 weeks, and one of the reasons why the scale may not be changing, is because your muscles are holding glycogen. You're holding glycogen in your muscles, okay? So that could be, we'll say number one. One of the possible reasons, okay? So to reiterate, glycogen is also sugar, and that substance allows for the muscles to contract. So when we are new to weight resistance, the muscles hold a higher amount of glycogen in the muscles, okay? Because you're working out, and so that it's new, and so this is a new occurrence to the body. And so that new biochemical reaction is happening. So that's one of the reasons. Number two is that you're holding on to water in the muscles. And why is that happening? So you're holding on to water in the muscles because, so if you've ever, if you're new to working out, or even if you're a vet and you were sore from the workout, let's talk about what that soreness actually is. That soreness is from micro tears in the muscles, okay? And so we are sore because the muscles have small tears in them. And so when we rest and allow for those muscles to heal, we're stronger. You know, we can go in and, you know, go after another workout. And so doing that over time, we work out, we get sore. And by the way, you don't have to be sore. You don't have to get sore to see results. It can happen, but it's not mandatory. So let me just say that. But in the event that the soreness is happening, the body is going to hold on to water in the muscles to help repair them. So water in the muscles to help with repair. So that's another reason why you may either not see the scale move or the number goes up. All right. Number 3, which could have been number 1, stress. Stress. And more specifically, the hormone cortisol. Cortisol. So when we're stressed out, understand this. Stress is a normal reaction in life, obviously. It's the fight or flight, right? So we're either going to defend ourselves or we're going to take off and leave the situation. What the body is not meant to do, the body is not meant to be under stress for days. Stress is supposed to be something that we experience for a few minutes, okay? Now, obviously, life happens and we get stressed out. So it is very important that we find healthy ways to manage, navigate, and release that stress. Very important. And if we hold on to stress, because what happens is the body starts to produce this hormone called cortisol continuously. And so then when that happens, it makes losing fat very difficult. Because you have to think, if the body's under stress, like for instance, if you were in the jungle or something and there's a tiger coming, your body isn't thinking, okay, let me burn this fat. You know what I mean? The body is like, well, let us get out this situation or defend ourselves. So from a bodily function standpoint, the body makes a decision. It's like, okay, well, we're not in a state where we can focus on using fat as fuel. At this point, we need to hold on we just need to stay where we are because we're in a defense mode or a fight mode. And so if we're stressed out continuously and we're not handling it, the cortisol levels increase and it'd be difficult to lose body fat. Another way that this hormone is released at high levels is lack of sleep. So I'm going to put that right under here. Lack of sleep. If you are not sleeping, at least 6 hours, hopefully 6 to 8 hours, then the body will continue to release this cortisol. And so, even despite your best efforts of exercise and nutrition, if you aren't sleeping properly, then that cortisol is still being released. So, while you can definitely, obviously, reduce the level of stress through exercise, because it releases the hormones of dopamine and serotonin, and so we start to feel better. It improves our mood. But if we're not sleeping and getting adequate sleep, because you have to think, sleep is when the body repairs itself. That's when the body's supposed to actually rest, restore, and recalibrate. And if the body doesn't get a chance to do that, it's going to feel a level of stress because it's like, well, damn, I didn't really get a chance to rest. So I'm stressed out. And so a lot of you all are getting poor sleep and need to reevaluate your nighttime routine. You know, turn off the crimes against women, the real ID and the unsolved mysteries and all this madness, and maybe turn on some music and run a hot bath, put down your phone, put the phone away, you know, like reevaluate what you're doing because you're not allowing your mind to relax. You're not allowing the melatonin to kick in naturally, and you're not allowing yourself to sleep. The other thing is eating too close to bedtime. So even if you do eat something good for you, like if you have even a salad, for instance, you know, a tilapia and like a spinach salad, just for, you know, example. If you go to bed at 10, but you eat at like 8 or 9, you're not giving the body enough time to digest. So then when you lay down for the night, the body is still working and it can't relax. And so you get restless sleep. So that's the other thing that you want to think about. So you may want to move your eating back. If you're up snacking, that can also lead to why you're getting poor sleep. Okay? So stress and lack of sleep lead to increased levels of cortisol, which can make it difficult for you to lose body fat while you're working out. Okay? And number 4, water. Water. If you're not drinking water, because a lot of y'all aren't drinking enough water anyway. But then when you drink water, your body, your natural requirement of water increases. So if you come in and your water wasn't really that great to begin with, and then you start working out and you're still not drinking water, you're going to retain water. And so that makes this process worse because the body's definitely going to retaining water for 2 reasons. Number 1 is retaining water because it's dehydrated, but then it's also retaining water because it's trying to repair the muscle damage. And then you're not drinking enough water to allow the body to release the excess. So if you don't drink water, you're going to retain water. If you don't drink water, you're going to retain water. You dig what I'm saying? So those are 4 reasons right there why, if you've been working out for 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, and you're not seeing, because you could be working out 2 or 3 months, but if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not gonna see that scale move like you think you should, like you're supposed to. If you've been working out for 2 or 3 months and you're not drinking water, you're not gonna see that scale move. So even after these 2 things, because the numbers 1 and 2 are temporary. Those are temporary. That'll change. And so the key right here is just keep going and stay off the scale. I preach that. You know, if you're new to the group, hey, but you will find that I am not a fan of the scale at all because the scale does not tell you the full story. You know, I remember back in the day as a young trainer, I would have clients, you know, women, coming to me like, hey, Akil, the scale went up or the scale's the same. And I used to roll out that old diatribe of, well, muscle weighs more than fat, you're building muscle. First of all, that's not, well, muscle does weigh more than fat by volume, meaning a cup of muscle weighs more than a cup of fat because you can get more muscle in that cup because muscle is tightly packed and is more dense. But 1 pound equals 1 pound. So when you hear, usually trainers are saying that muscle weighs more than fat. No, it does not. No, it doesn't. Or it's an incomplete statement. Muscle weighs more than fat by volume is what they should be saying, okay? But at the same time, you're not developing 5 pounds of muscle in 4 to 6 weeks. You don't develop muscle that fast, which is why, ladies, don't be too concerned about getting big and bulky from weight training. It takes a lot of weight training, meaning volume and actual weight, to build muscle. Like, and I mean, and the image you have in your mind, the fear that you have, that's going to take some drugs. Like, it's going to take some testosterone, some estrogen blockers, like a whole bunch of stuff that you're not going to do. Okay? So let me alleviate those fears. It takes a lot in terms of time to build muscle. And I'm talking about like there are, like, even as a man, like, you can't, it is rare for a man to build 10 pounds of muscle in a year. You hear what I'm saying? So I want to also come back to the point I was making, that 4 to 6 weeks, you're not building muscle. And I mean, you are on the path, but you have not built new muscle in 4 to 6 weeks. So it's not muscle that you're looking at on the scale when you do hop on the scale. Like I said, to review, is glycogen in your muscles that the body is holding on to, and it's water in your muscles to help with your muscles being repaired from the damage done during the workout. But the key is to keep going, because at some point that will subside and you'll start to lose body fat, as long as we tick these other two boxes, which is why these other two are important. If you're not sleeping well, like if you're 4 to 6 hours and it's not continuous, like, you wake up for an hour, go back to sleep, wake up, that restless sleep. If you're doing that, cortisol is being produced at a high level that's making it difficult for that body fat to be released. And then water. If you're not drinking your water, you're going to retain water. And so I actually obviously help all my clients with, well, not so much this, because this is going to happen, but these two here, we talk a lot. Like when I start my program, we talk about stress. I talk about sleep. And we come up with strategies and talk through, okay, well, let's try these things. And then I'm holding you accountable to see, hey, are we doing what we need to do? The same with water. So that's part of what you pay for when you have me as your coach and trainer. Because I can just give you a workout. You can get a workout in the meal plan anywhere. You know what I mean? But in terms of having somebody who knows what they're talking about and having somebody that can hold you accountable and support and encourage you, that is what my job is. So if you're interested in just setting up a call, like we can see if we're fit for one another. Like, it's not like I get on the call and I'm like, you got to buy my services, because that's not what's up. 1, 2, I have to find out if I can even help you. So the first call is only 15 minutes. I want to hear from you about what you got going on, and then we'll go from there. So that is how that is set up. All right. But yeah, the main thing is, though, don't give up. If you're 4 to 6 weeks in, stay off the scale. Because here's the other thing. I forgot to mention this. Normal weight loss is 1 or 2 pounds a week. Let me repeat that. Normal weight loss is 1 or 2 pounds per week. That's the norm. So if you are watching the scale every day, it is not super motivating to watch a few ounces come off the scale. Like you were 161.9 on Monday, and Thursday you're 161.6. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Like, it's hard to stay hyped with that. That's why I encourage you all to leave the scale alone. And I said this before, just pick a pair of pants, or just take pictures in the mirror or something weekly. But don't hop on the scale. Don't do that to your psyche. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to demotivate, frustrate, or upset yourself. Like, why would... There's enough going on in the world where you don't have to be your own worst enemy. You dig what I'm saying? Like, life is too long to be frustrated, upset, and pissed off and stressed out. And it's too short for that at the same time. Let me come around and see if I have any questions. Patrice, Yvette, Alexis, Maggie, Kiana, thank you for watching. Tamara, I appreciate y'all for checking your mans out today, this evening. So obviously if you came in late, you can watch the replay. But like I said, if you're interested in scheduling a 15-minute call, just hit me on Messenger, or drop a comment below in this thread and just say call. And I'll follow up just like that. Okay? But thank you for watching. Have an amazing week. I hope everybody has at least worked out one time so far. I know it's Monday, so one time. Start your week off right. But if for any reason you couldn't get it in today, make sure you get it in tomorrow. All right? I'll holler at y'all. Take it easy.